Alright, if you watched yesterday's video, you're probably pretty excited right now. This will be an album review, but a little bit different. What I'm going to be doing is reviewing the EPs from Jay and Romell of TGFBro. Tyler watches these two and he asked me to review their respective EPs. And Jay released his about a month ago or so now, and Romell released his just earlier this month. I think it was like the 6th of October or something. But considering they're both pretty small projects, I think they're both 5 tracks each. Romell's might be 6. I'm just going to review both of them in this album here and compare the two against each other. See if there's any similarities. They didn't actually work with each other at all in this album, which I thought, or on the projects, which I thought was a little bit weird. Like, I thought for sure there'd be some crossover features, like they'd each lend each other a verse. But I do want to preface this by saying that I haven't watched any of their videos. So if they have made any references throughout, I'm probably going to miss them. But I do know what they do. I do know that they do crazy stuff. I saw one of the video thumbnails, which was like, I forget what it was titled, but basically they went inside a bus and then buried the bus. Like, they drove the bus into like a big hole while they were in it, and then got like the hole filled in. They're crazy. But let's start with Romell's album, 311, but his rap name is UNX. It was very close to being good. It's on the high end of okay. The first track, Endless, he lacked a lot of emphasis. There was something that was just missing in his voice. It came across as very lackluster. Like, for someone who's so high energy and has done as much crazy shit as he has, I was expecting something insane for the first track, the introduction of his debut as a rapper. Like, he's had a single before this, but this is his first, like, project. I thought for sure he'd, like, you know, come in crazy. Although the first track did have something to offer that I did like as well. There were 3 choruses that also like differed a little bit from each other. I do like it when songs do that. After the first song though, he did pick up, so don't worry too hard. He had 3 features on the second track, which I thought was a little bit weird, because like he didn't have any features anywhere else. It was just all 3 on the second track. All of them were good though, nothing sort of outstanding. They all blended in fine. But the third track, Swiss, I found that to be like on the long side. It sort of, yeah, it dragged on a bit more. I think if he cut out like a verse or the last chorus, I think it would have felt a lot better. Or even if he had like 2 features on Depot, the second track, and moved one of them over to Swiss, I think that would have helped a lot. Mayan though, the 4th track, is probably my favourite. It ended when it felt it should. The beat was hard and he was putting in a good amount of emphasis on each syllable of each word. And that's actually a pretty difficult thing to do as well. Not a lot of people like realize that when you're talking normally, you sort of mumble a little bit, and like from context, you can understand what I'm saying. It doesn't really matter if I miss out on a word or not, because you still get what it is I'm trying to say. Makes sense. But with rapping, where it's like it's much faster and people are listening to enjoy it, no one wants to have to put in effort to understand what the artist is saying. So the artist has to put like an equal amount of emphasis on each word, like bring them all up to the same level. Like, you can like go up on emphasis on some words, but like they all need to be at a flat level of understanding. And that's very difficult to do. You have to like retrain your brain on how you say certain words while doing it very quickly. It's a surprisingly difficult thing to do. And the final track, Less Is More, is a pretty banger one. I think that was a good ending to the album, going out on a bang. That was probably after my end. That was probably my next favourite track. But then Jimbo's House Party. This is what I was expecting from Romell. Like, the first track starts out with him saying, "I'm loud as but introverted," and the beat is just slapping. I do want to play a little bit of that actually. Like, that energy is there. This is what I was expecting. This crazy high energy, like distorted vibe, That's what I was expecting from the both of them. Because, like, realistically, the majority of people listening to this are fans of
TGFBro.
They came looking for the boys. That's why they're listening. You know, that's what they want. They don't want some other random character. You know, they don't want Unks. They want Romell. Like, they're looking for the two boys, but more. You know, a different side to them, a more personal side even. Like, just, you know, they want a deeper understanding of those two. Because, you know, like, if your favorite YouTuber released an album and you're like, oh, cool, let me listen to it. You want them as a person, but you also want, like, a deeper connection with them. You want to understand more about why they are who they are. You know, and, like, that's really what Jay offers here. And I wish that Romell did as well. Baby Don't Go is the second track, and it features the only feature on the project. Younger One, who is pretty good. Jay did make a reference here, which I got as well. I don't know if he's made others that have escaped me. But injecting this lemonade, check out my veins. I do know that they have put lemonade into open wounds and cuts before, you know, just because they're masochists. And then in the second verse, he says, my stunts are insane, unstable like Bane. The third track, Shotty, he opens it by saying, they said it's way too late to be a rapper. And then later on, to be a rapper, I don't need to be a trapper. And, like, I like that he gives, like, a little bit of self-awareness, saying, like, oh, everyone's telling me, no, it's too late in your career. Like, if you wanted to rap, you should have, like, done it a lot earlier. So I do like that. It's not quite, self-awareness isn't quite the right word, but, like, you know what I mean. You're feeling it too. In Matt Green, he gives a little bit of backstory in his life. Mummy's been proud of me. Daddy's been never seen. That was, like, really good. That's exactly what the fans want. And then the very last song is called 2012. I assume it's called that for a reason. I don't know. Maybe that's the year they blew up. And one thing that really surprised me is Jay produced this whole track. So, yeah, good on him for that. Or credit where credit's due for that one. But, yeah, I expected all of that from Romell as well. I think Jay did a brilliant job. Just, yeah, like I said, the TGFBros, but more. And I found it really strange that they didn't work together. Because, you know, fans of them have been watching them together for years now. So it's weird that they didn't. Jay definitely had the better project of the two. I'd probably rate Unks 5, maybe 0.5 out of 10. Like 5, maybe 5.5 out of 10. And then Jay, like a 6.5 out of 10. But yeah, I think even Jay could have done a little bit more. Like, I'm not a fan of these guys. Not like I don't dislike them. I'm just not a fan. You know, I don't watch their videos. I don't follow them. But even I was a little bit disappointed that they didn't give us more of them. I can't imagine what an actual fan, you know, feels when they listen to it. Yeah, the projects were still good though, just not what I was expecting. Maybe that's what it was. So yeah, 5 to a 5.5 for Romell, and then a 6.5 to Jay. So well done, boys. Yeah, hopefully we'll see you guys working together in the future. I think that would actually be really cool. But tune in tomorrow for my review of Nausea by Vitamin Boy and Ishtar. I'll see you then. That's a wrap.